Hey, welcome back to the channel. This week we have another RV side chat with Shawn and Corinne from Travels of Red Rover. Last week we talked about filters or not. What are we talking about this week, Shelley?
Well, this week, sadly enough, is our wrap-up episode. We're going to talk about some interesting things, fun little fact that you guys will probably find pretty interesting. So stay tuned for that.
Stick around till the end. I'm going to let you in on what's coming up next on my channel.
So, Shawn and Shelley, there's something unique about how you got your conversation going between the two of you. There seems to be some relationship we should know about.
Yep. Shelley's my cousin.
How's that work?
Yep, believe it or not.
So Shelley's maiden name is Severin. My surname is Severin. And just by pure fluke luck, I happened to notice that she was using her maiden name as part of it. And I said, oh, we have to be related because all Severins are related.
Absolutely.
And we've been trying to figure out how it works as much as we can. As best as we can figure out at this point, we think my great-great-grandfather's brother came to the U.S. and spawned Shelley's part of the family.
Yes. We think that his great-great-uncle, I guess it would be, is my fourth great-grandfather. So, I don't know what exactly that makes us. Something cousins twice removed.
Cousins
somehow.
like, fifth, sixth, seventh removed.
Something.
Probably genetically incompatible.
Related somehow, we're pretty sure.
But you know what we need to do? We need to actually go do the DNA test.
There we go.
And see just how closely related we actually are.
Yeah.
That could be a lot of fun, actually.
It could be interesting.
It could be fun, it's 1/5, Italian, and six fifths. 6/5. I don't think there's a 6/5. 4/5 English or Welsh or something of that sort. So that could be a lot of fun. So you and I have had a lot of fun corresponding about that.
Oh yes. Yeah.
Many of you might not realize, but that's kind of our conversation didn't really start on the YouTubing side.
Nope.
We were just sort of Corinne and I had started watching Craig's channel and corresponding, and then Shelley started doing the geosplaining, and her name came up and said, oh, we just have to be related.
Yeah.
And we've been getting to know each other. So I don't know if we're actually related for sure.
I don't know for sure, but
we sure had a great time with you guys this week. It's just been a pleasure.
It was wonderful. I had a great time.
And we thank Craig for all the driving.
And the hard work of spotting the locations to go to.
Yep, we really appreciate that. Those of you that have never planned a longer photographic trip may not realize how much effort it is to know when, where, all the different locations are going to be, being there on the right time, finding some schmuck with a nice 4-door truck to drive
Air
you.
conditioning.
Air conditioning.
It was my pleasure to do the driving. I don't mind doing the driving. I need to get Shelley to do more of the driving because I don't usually get to see the gorgeous drives that we go on.
Yeah.
So
admittedly.
I tend to shoot a ton of GoPro B-roll just so I can see the view because I'm usually concentrated on where we're going from point A to point B and how to get there, and if the vehicle can get turned around, especially when you start towing another 24-foot worth of vehicle just to live out of, because some of the locations that we've been to the past couple of weeks, it was easier to stay at an RV park or campgrounds than get a hotel room, which is 2 to 3 hours away.
Right.
You're pretty close to on location. And Shawn and Corinne, you guys have Red Rover, the van, which makes it even easier to get to some of these places because you can literally park at the trailhead most times and just step out the door.
Except during the Needles Highway.
Oh, yeah.
We found out the one real handicap having a tall van. You're not going to be able to do some roads. So without Craig and Shelley, we wouldn't have been able to get up there to where we wanted to go because you have to go through the tunnels.
So if anybody's watched their video on the van, it's a lot bigger in person, okay? The cameras that we all use for YouTube usually make people look bigger, the camera that's 10 pounds. The camera somehow subtracted about 40% of that van. Okay, it looks massive when you first see it, and you're like, that is bigger than I thought it was. But you know.
Well, and the funny part is when Corinne and I started doing this more and more seriously, you know, we've gone from the Class A to the trailer, very much like this one, to a Class C, and now we're in the Class B four-wheel drive van. And I don't think we'd ever go back now to something bigger. It just gives us so much more access.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't have to pull cars. We don't have to, you know, frankly, we don't often even have to find camping spots because we're pretty self-contained. You know, we don't need to come into a campground that often. So, although I must admit, having the showers in the campground is always nice.
Yeah.
So, but yes. So again, thank you so much. I know that Shelley is actually solely responsible for this happening. When I got this email, I think you emailed. I think it was a messenger message.
Yeah.
So, how would you feel about going on a trip with Craig and I? And I said, Corinne, how would you feel about going on a trip with two people you know nothing about?
Never met officially.
Well, I can highly recommend it. We had a great time.
We had a wonderful
I'm really looking forward to doing this again.
Absolutely.
I am too, and I'm really hoping what we can do is when things get back to normal, maybe more closer to normal. We're getting there now. Some of us are still working most of the time from home, and I don't know if that's ever truly going to change, but maybe, hopefully next spring, we can be down in your neck of the woods and go see some of the places that you guys like to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd have to be an early spring because it gets hot down there.
Oh, yeah. We're filming this in, what, second week of June?
Yeah.
Yes.
And the area, this area of the country is usually not 90 to 100 degrees this time of year. So we were all thinking it would be nice and cool, some breezes. We were dead wrong.
Yeah.
Badlands at 100 degrees is difficult.
It's not fun. It's definitely not fun, especially without air conditioning, and there's very few trees out here to find shade. When we were up near Sundance for last weekend, it we don't have a generator. This is a rental, and it's not a sponsored rental. But if anybody wants to know where I rent it from, I'll let you know. Okay, they're good people down there. I didn't buy a generator, so we had no AC that weekend, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot imagine doing this for 7 months out of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without AC.
Yeah.
I would probably suffer from really bad migraines constantly. But it's been made better by the company that we had and the experiences that we all got to share.
Yeah, and if you get a chance, if you're predominantly a solo photographer or solo couple like Corinne and I, or like Craig and Shelley, it is refreshing to see how other people approach their photography. Definitely. It's refreshing to hear about, their thoughts about photography, and it gives you a kind of a different view of the world, a different view of your art, and it's just a great opportunity to learn. And it's just, I think we all learned something, or maybe many somethings this week.
Definitely.
I mean, Corinne and I, at the very minimum, got to learn about these whole new areas, sort of guided through these whole new areas, that for us, we would have to spend a lot more time here just to get a few photographs. Yeah. So that's the other thing, too. If you have a friend that knows the area, man, that's like having a friend that owns a boat. You don't want to own the boat, but you really want to have the friend that owns the boat that will take you out. Definitely. It's sort of the same thing with this. Yeah. And you're both welcome to join us in the spring next year. We'd love to show you the Southwest. I'm just sitting here thinking, oh, we can do this and this and this and this and this and this and this, and I'm thinking that I'm saying, oh, and Craig just crashed.
Well, okay, so I think when we initially started talking back and forth on Instant Messenger or whatever we were doing, there was kind of a plan to go out there and meet up with you guys. Yeah, and I had done significant research on how to rent a very off-road capable RV, a black series. I think it was an HQ19
Right.
in Vegas. And the trick was Shelley willing to truck bed tent in April in Colorado for one night to get to Vegas?
Spring for a
I don't
hotel
know,
room.
maybe.
Yeah, dude, just spring for a
yeah.
hotel room.
Oh yeah.
And that was the look I got. And I'm like, but we got all this stuff to truck bed tent, and we never use it.
Yeah.
And she's like, not that time of year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not that time of year.
And that location.
Yeah.
No.
No, because it can get cold. And,
Oh, yeah.
Really fast.
a lot of the places that Corinne and I travel to in the wintertime, we don't have much snow. We have beautiful sunny days. Probably, the cold, the high for the day will be in the 50s or 60s. But it might be in the teens that night.
Yeah.
Truck bed camping is no fun in the teens.
No.
Yeah,
At
we've
least at
tried
our
it.
age.
We've tried it.
Yeah, we've done that. We've done truck bed in the teens, and no fun. It's hard to keep concentrating on the photography when you're cold and miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's number 2 rule.
yeah, not be cold and miserable.
Nope, not be cold and miserable. Number 1 is not be hangry.
Yeah,
Number 3 is when photographing near an edge at night, make sure you know where said edge is and maintain a safe distance.
yeah. And number 4 is if you see 3 or 4 tripods down, already focused, already working, don't walk down in front of them into their scene.
Yeah.
That's just not cool.
Well, thanks everybody for watching our RV Side Chat series with Shawn and Corinne from Travels the Red Rover. We had such a great time with them. It was a really, really enjoyable experience, and we can't wait to do it again.
We really can't. We're already planning something for later in the year with them, and we can't wait to meet up and go see some areas that they're more familiar with and have some photographic opportunities with them and sit down and talk. If there's any questions that you have, leave them down in the comments below. We'll get back to you in the comments. Plus, I really want to do a Q&A episode with Shawn and Corinne next time we meet up. So give us some stuff to help us make some content that you might enjoy. I'd also like to point out, this is not the last in the RV Side Chat series, Shelley. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I met up with another landscape photographer / YouTuber here in the state of Missouri. That's going to be next week on my channel. Same time, same channel. And it was really cool meeting up with Michael Curtis. And I think you guys will love that. It's a real short video. It's just one video. I'm not cutting it into all these topics because Shawn, Corinne, Shelley, and I had such a great time talking about all things photography that there was just an abundance of stuff that I thought was good to share with everybody. Michael and I did it very condensed. It was almost like we had both rehearsed it before we got there. And I think maybe he did, because it was really good. It was great discussion. So that's next week on the channel. If you haven't yet done so, please hit that subscribe button. Helps us out a lot. Ding the bell for future notifications. Ding. Give us a big thumbs up. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys. Bye.